Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody. I'm your co-host, Wes.
I'm your co-host, Chanel.
And this is the Tune Out Podcast. Yeah!
I told myself I wasn't going to do it.
Listen, but it's so infectious. Like, you always have to.
I feel like you
make
me want to do it.
It's the best intro. Welcome back, guys. We're very excited to bring you guys another episode. Today, we're actually going to be doing an album review. The first of an idea that we had. And we figured we'd do something more current, more topical. So we wanted to review Certified Lover Boy by the Champagne Papi himself, El Drake.
By none other than
Drizzy Drake.
Aubrey
Graham. Again, we wanted to go with this one because it's more current. It came out recently. I feel like there's definitely a good amount to talk about. So we figured that what we're going to do is give you guys almost like set the scene, give a tiny bit of a background on what was going on before the album came out. We're going to do a little bit of a dive into it. We're going to talk about some of our favorite tracks, some of the stuff we liked, some of the stuff we were more like indifferent towards, and some of the stuff that we were just not messing with. It is not bumping in the whip at all.
Yeah, and then we're going to culminate everything at the end is going to lead up to our final thoughts and our final rating on the whole album.
So before we get into it, I know you mentioned this before. Do you want to talk about the cover? Oh,
yeah, we can start there. So the cover, a lot of you have probably seen it, but if you haven't, it's different. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know if Wes is a fan, but basically it's 3 rows of the pregnant iOS Apple emoji, pregnant woman emoji. All different skin tones, all different shirt colors.
Different races.
Different. Yeah. And when you click on the songs, when you're looking from the Spotify version, at least, they tend to animate the background of what you're looking at. And Wes is just, he's just not a fan. Like,
listen, so I think it's a creative cover. I think that if you were on Twitter or any of the social medias when the album came out, this cover got trashed. Like, people were like, how are you, this multi-million like recording dollar artist, and you have this iPhone emoji album cover going on? I think it's creative.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you remember the name of the...
Yeah, I was going to look that up. I think I want to say he's UK, like a UK designer.
Yeah. Which is funny because it would make sense if it was UK with Drake and the fact that he goes from the UK to the Caribbean to Canada all the time.
Damien Hirst is his name. That's
Damien
the designer's
Hirst?
name.
Okay. I think it's a creative cover.
Yeah.
But there's something very off-putting.
Oh, I just read something.
Wait.
Oh, no, but I don't want to cut you off.
Okay, word. Save that.
Okay.
Save that. There's something very off-putting about these pregnant emojis rubbing their stomachs
while their eyes are moving.
While they're like staring at me while the album is called Certified Lover Boy. And I'm like, I feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah,
but what did you find?
I was telling Wes about that, what you just said, that like they're looking at the potential baby daddies.
Yeah.
Like, as like a warning, like, watch out.
Certified baby daddies.
Oh my God. Too far. But I was reading, I was just scrolling through an article from Forbes. It's saying the 12 women holding their babies could tie into the fact that Drake's album was delayed by 9 months.
I heard about that.
That's interesting.
As well.
9 months pregnancy, 9-month delay.
Listen, that's really cool. That's actually very dope.
Yeah.
With that type of stuff, I always wonder how much of it was intentional and how much was like fan speculation.
Yeah, or just like coincidence maybe too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But either way, it definitely adds to it. But yeah, that album cover is wild now.
It's different though. I think it's a memorable cover.
Yeah.
I almost didn't expect it from him, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, it's Drake. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
How controversial and wild can we get?
I know. I was seeing another article saying like he's very much a showman.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? This cover, like, it fits.
Yeah. And not only that, but Drake is an intelligent guy.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing with a bunch of things. So I can only imagine that he's like, you know what I'm going to do for this album? I'm going to do something that's going to get the people talking. Give me that iPhone pregnant woman emoji, different races, different shirt colors, and just line them up for me.
Yeah, just 12 times, just scrawled across.
I'm the lover boy. You know what I mean? And I think...
And he's a dad, too, now, so I feel like it kind of connects.
we're on the same wavelength because that's exactly what I was gonna mention. That some of the topics in this album do have to do with like fatherhood and being a parent. So it ties into.
It's only fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on the fact that before the album came out, there were 2 projects that he put out more recently, because I know that his last official album, I'm not sure if was it Dark Lane Demos, where that had Chicago Freestyle and Tootsie Slide, but I'm not sure if that's an official album. I think it might have been.
So in 2019, he put out Care Package. I feel like you mentioned he re-released that. Or
Yeah,
something.
that was like a re-releasing of some of the songs that came out in 2009.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's Dark Lane Demo Tapes that came out last year.
Yeah. Is that an official album on
2020.
Spotify?
Yeah, it looks like it. It's an album. It's classified as an album, so yeah.
Word, okay. And then he put out the small EP Scary Hours 2.
I remember that.
Which I really, really like that. Yeah, that has some really good songs. What's Next and Wants and Needs with him and Lil Baby. Great, great tracks. So I feel like that was a really good setup for like whatever it was that he was going to put out afterwards. Because when I heard that, I got excited. I was like, oh boy, new Drake. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
I got hyped. So come what day was this released?
So I was actually looking into, I think it was September 3rd.
Yeah, he made the
2021.
announcement halfway into the week, September 3rd. Come the announcement, I was like, okay,
September 3rd, yep.
okay, yeah. Come the announcement, I was like, we got some new Drake on the way. This is an
And
exciting
I feel like I found
time.
out almost like very close to, like I saw it through someone's story on Instagram.
Yeah, because the release of the album got delayed a couple times. Because I have a friend who him and I would always go back talking about like Drake information. We're both big Drake fans.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, it was supposed to come out January. It was supposed to come out January, beginning of this year. And then it
That
got
is-
pushed back to June. And then I think in June, it might have got pushed back to July. And then I think from there, it was just like a bunch of speculation of when it was going to get released. So when we got the official release date, I was like, you know what? I think it's time.
It's time. It's about time.
Exactly. You tell him it's about time.
It's about time. I feel like he's a good, I mean, I feel like Drake songs are good for the summer
Yeah. Yeah.
specifically. But
Yeah. That's usually when he releases them too. Because
Right?
More Life was a summer album.
I feel like it was. I even think Scorpion came out in the summer.
Yeah.
Could be wrong, but
I think it's time we started diving
I was
into
gonna say,
some
but
of
like,
these songs. Yeah.
should we dive in?
I think it's time, yeah.
Did we mention too how many tracks? So it's 21 tracks total for Certified Lover Boy.
Yeah.
Which is, would you say that's long compared to? Oh yeah, and then like this album, it's, I think another thing is like, it was released on the heels of Donda.
Yeah.
Kanye West's long-awaited, very much delayed.
Exactly.
We're talking about delays.
Exactly.
gotta-
When you're saying long awaited, those are the perfect choice of words.
Yeah.
Because the internet was like, "Adonda está this album?"
Yeah,
Like,
where is this album?
where this
Literally.
album at? But
Seriously.
yeah, it was released on the heels of Donda, and Donda was 27 songs.
About, yeah, it was almost 30. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
It was almost 30 tracks, and then this one is 21, which is kind of long, I guess, but it's
Yeah.
not as long as Donda for
Donda
sure.
was like a feature film.
Yeah, that was literally like, that was like, he took 2 albums and
yeah,
he
and just
merged them
threw
together.
them together.
But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. It's 21 tracks. Yeah, we can dive in and just go into some of the like features, inspirations,
Yeah. So
samples. He's very much known for sampling. He's very much known for sampling other songs.
him and 40, my favorite joke that I was just that I was telling Chanel before we started recording is that if there's one thing 40 is gonna do on a Drake track, it's sample some R&B, soul, or neo soul singer. Pitch it up.
40-year-old Drake.
Exactly. Pitch it up, fasten it, and then Drake is gonna come in like, yeah.
I think
And then it's this banger from there on.
at that point he won't be like drinking champagne. He'll be drinking like whiskey with a
Yep.
cigar, like by
Whiskey
the
Papi.
fireplace. Yeah, whiskey Papi. Oh man.
So, when it comes to features on the album, we have Lil Baby, who's featured on Girls Want Girls. I wanted to say this: Lil Baby and Drake is a very, very good combo. So when I saw that on the feature list, I was like, this cannot disappoint me. We have Lil Durk, who's another pretty good feature with Drake. He was featured on Laugh Now, Cry Later, which is another single that came out. I believe that was 2020.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It might have been. I think so, yeah.
I believe that was 2020. Great track. Giveon is featured on that same track as Lil Durk. We have Jay-Z,
Legend.
which is a very wild, not crazy wild thing for him to be on a track with Drake, but like at a certain point, there was a time when they had like a little bit of beef together, and there were like some things that kind of happened back and forth. But Jay-Z was also featured on Scorpion, so I think that's long been resolved. Travis Scott is on it. Drake and Travis combo, they were on Sicko
really
Mode
good.
together.
Right.
Yeah, they were on Sicko Mode together.
It's a good combo, I think.
They were on I think Portland too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another really good collab. We have Way Too Sexy
Featuring
Future and Young Thug. Young Jeffrey. Listen, Young Thug as a feature artist, great. Future and Drake, one of the most undefeated like hip hop combos.
Dream team.
Exactly. What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
What more do we have to say? And then 21 Savage is on this as well. Yebba is on here. But like technically she didn't get included as like a feature in the title, because it really is just a Yebba song on a Drake album.
Yeah, it's called Yebba's Heartbreak.
Yeah.
It's almost like, I want to say it feels like an interlude.
Yeah.
It's just a ballad of her with her vocals, and it's kind of very much like an emotional song.
Yeah.
It feels like an interlude to the rest of the album.
Yeah, and it's just her. Like Drake isn't on that track at all. He didn't say a single thing. Then we have Lil Wayne and Rick Ross, which again, you know what? Reading back the features on this album, like back to back like that, they got some solid features going on here. Like, like normally I was like, okay, whatever, like they're on the song, but now that we're here talking about it, I'm like, no, this is like a
Jay-Z
stacked
on
album.
Here. I know, like.
Yeah. He has Ty Dolla Sign.
Ty Dolla Sign.
Kid Cudi.
Kid
Cudi, I think, is actually the last feature on this album, and then the last two are just solo Drake songs.
And then he has this guy named Thames.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about who that is, but.
Me neither. But honestly, like.
Thames. I think he might be like. He or she. I think he. Not sure what their gender. Is, but yeah, that's a new one for. I've never heard of Thames.
Yeah.
So. But they're on there.
Yeah. And that's about all the features on the track. And again, some of them, we're going to dive into it right now as we go into some of these tracks. Some of these features were banging. Others were like, okay, it was cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So do you want to say what some of your liked ones were? Some of your favorites?
Sure. So I thought I'd start off just like looking at it from a general. I remember like we were sitting here and I noticed something. It could be a coincidence again, but Drake is a good businessman. I mean, he knows what he's doing, I guess. Yeah. So like the first two songs, so the first one is called Champagne Poetry. Yeah. And the second one is called Papi's Home. Yeah. And then I was feeling, so if you follow Drake on Instagram, his IG handle is Champagne Papi. So then I was like, wait, did he do that on purpose? The first song is Champagne. The second one starts with Papi. Yeah. So he's like, it's a nod to his IG, which handle / also I feel like he's kind of referred to as that.
I think so, yeah.
In the general sense now because of that. It's almost like a fun.
Become a moniker.
A fun ref, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's something I thought I would know that I thought was interesting.
No, it's awesome because I didn't even realize it until you pointed it out.
Yeah. It like hit me. I was like, wait, is this a coincidence? But yeah. No, for sure. So I did have some that stood out to me, I would say, a little more than others. So like Champagne Poetry, I think that was a solid intro to the album. The I love you, I love you, I love you. I don't know, I think it was a nice sample.
Yeah,
and I think
it's a great track.
Yeah. So that one, I think, he had some inspirations. I think that was from an artist named Masego.
Yeah, shout out Masego.
I think the sample was from Masego, the I love you part. And I guess there's a nod to the Beatles in that song too. Yeah. Fair Trade with Travis Scott.
That's a bop.
Yeah, Wes and I both love that one. That's probably one of my favorite ones in there. Very IG or social media caption worthy with the line. I've been losing friends and finding peace.
Bars.
Sound like a fair trade to me.
Bars.
But honestly, that sound like a fair trade to me. Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah,
I think
Travis
that's,
did his thing on that song.
seriously, yeah. I think that's a standout song. Let's see. Oh my god, I feel like I don't even have a lot.
Wait, really?
Way Too Sexy. That's another one that
Yeah.
I think at first I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I knew it had something special to it or like a ring to it that's gonna be like, I knew it was gonna be popular, but I was kind of like, okay, whatever, sure,
Yeah.
cool. But now I think it's just fun, like to listen to. And I and I saw a tweet. I think I told us.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet. Someone was like, "Way Too Sexy" by Drake is the WAP for men. Which we know WAP from Cardi B. Who else did that? Cardi B and who else?
And Meg Thee Stallion.
Meg Thee Stallion. WAP
Yeah.
was like very controversial song, I guess. It's controversial the right word?
Yeah, no, it was controversial.
It was definitely like
it
one
was
of those.
a bomb.
It was
though.
one of those break the, not the internet, but it was
Yeah.
definitely like an
Actually,
out there
low key,
song.
that video was break the internet
Yeah.
worthy. That
The
video,
video,
was
yeah.
crazy.
But I guess, you know, like that song is like very much supposed to be, even though their critics have their opinions on it, that it's degrading to women, whatever.
Yeah.
From their standpoint, Cardi and Meg's standpoint, it's supposed to be like a female empowerment song. So like Way Too Sexy is supposed to
for
be
the
that.
guys.
It's supposed to be that for men. It's kind of like gets men to feel themselves when they're getting ready to go out, whatever.
Yeah.
So I think this is a fun song that's worth mentioning. That was fun. I mean, there's a few that I like. TSU.
Yeah.
It's literally just
Yeah.
TSU capital. And Too Deep featuring Future.
Yes.
Wes and I both agree on that one. That's a really solid one.
That's a banger.
No Friends in the Industry.
I was looking
That
at it
song
too.
is
I was like,
hard.
come on.
That song goes hard.
Yeah.
That's that beat. I was telling Wes, I was like, I feel like it makes me want to like go to the gym and like just go in.
Look yourself in the mirror, just doom, doom.
Bicep day just real quick with my 10-pound weights.
With mass sweat dripping down, but you just do no friends in the industry.
That one beat of sweat.
Looking like LeBron in the commercials.
No friends in the industry. I feel like I don't even know.
So good.
That's a fun one. Knife Talk.
I like Knife Talk a lot.
I hearted You Only Live Twice.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good track.
That was a decent one, yeah. I'm trying to see. Pipe Down didn't stick out to me, but then I just heard Chanel in it. So I was like, all right, let me listen. My ear perked up.
Maybe I should give this a chance.
Literally just because it said, not even the way, like it's referring to the brand, obviously, but
Yeah.
my ear perked up. I was like, let me just see what these lyrics are.
Yo, you heard Chanel, you were like, this guy Drake is spitting right now.
Wait, what's even the part where he's like Chanel?
It's like near the beginning, isn't it?
Kind of, I think so.
Like somewhere around there.
It's not even an important part to the song. It's like verse 1, and when you see Chanel, I wish that's how you saw me. That issue tell Chanel, I wish that's how you called me. Whatever. Like it's not even like a bar. Like
No, but you were like, that's a bar and a half.
not even. I just like my ear perked. I was like, all right, let me listen to this. But me and Wes have this inside joke about the pen.
Yeah.
Letting your pen flow. I said something like, let your pen flow. Because we were trying to come up. I think it was when we started the podcast, we were trying to come up with like a description for Apple Podcasts or something.
Yeah, like our general description that you saw every time
That
you
you-
looked at the show.
Yeah, our main one. And Wes and I were just brainstorming, like, how do we phrase this? And then Wes was like, he was getting inspired. He was going off just writing a bunch. And I was like, let the pen flow. The pen is like what you referred to in like the rap industry or like the music industry. It's like, it's kind of like your instrument for like
Yeah.
rappers, right? That's
Yeah,
how you
exactly.
describe it.
Yeah, because it's like, guitar players have the guitars, bass have the basses. For vocalists and rappers, it's your
It's
pen.
your pen,
It's
like
what
your
you write
writing
with.
skills. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like the verse from Pipe Down. He's like, writing down these feelings. It's been overdue. Don't know how many pens it's going to take to get over you. I don't know. I like
That's
that.
bars.
Yeah, that's kind of a bar, right?
That's bars. That's bars.
But anyway, yeah, I like that one. I think those were probably fountains. Wes kind of like made me feel like,
No.
okay, I should hold down my opinions though.
Okay.
At first, I was like, okay, a little dance hall moment from Drake. Like we expected it. He only did one song. I know on More Life, there was a lot of like dance hall influences in
Yeah,
there.
especially on More Life.
Yeah, on More Life. And it's controversial for Drake to have a lot of dance. He forces the accent sometimes. The Caribbean.
Teens.
Summer teens. Like
teens.
He's from Canada, whatever.
Yeah, he's from Canada, bro. Like
He's forcing the Caribbean. Fine. It's adding to his brand.
Yeah.
Fountains it's a vibe.
It's a fun song.
It's a dancing vibe. Like it just makes you want to dance a little bit. That's all. I don't know if it's
song.
yeah. You say that now, but whatever. We know how you really feel.
Listen, I'm gonna talk about.
It's not my favorite. I will say though, it's like it's there, and I just feel like for this project, I don't know that it goes. Like I don't think it. It doesn't feel cohesive to the project because it's the one dance hall song, and in this project specifically, he doesn't really tie in like the Caribbean kind of like dance hall influence too much. So that song feels a little random. But I think he has better dance hall kind of inspired songs on More Life for sure, but
yeah,
I think it's at least noteworthy because it's the only one of its kind in the project. But
yeah,
I think those were, I might have missed some, but I think those were my main top songs that, or at least ones that stood out to me from this project.
Nice. Listen, before I get to mine, I just want to talk about Thames. You feel me? Not Thames. That's not the name of the song. It's Fountains featuring Thames. When I saw Fountains, again, because I think you put it really well, that it stands out because there aren't that many Caribbean like influenced songs on the project compared to some of his past stuff. Like I think Views might have been like.
Did that have Too Good? Which is not really. I mean, I don't know if you would classify that as dance hall, really, like true, but it still has that sort of beat.
Yeah.
Not like non-traditional. It's not a hip hop beat, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Like not a classic hip hop beat, at least.
Yeah, it's not meant for you to be like rapping over.
Yeah.
It's meant for like a more like dance hall type of energy.
Yeah. Right.
So like Views, I think started that sound when he did stuff like Control and different things like that.
Right.
Established more on More Life where there were a lot more tracks, and then Scorpion had some. I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but I know Scorpion had a couple on there. And then this one, the only one was Fountains. What I was telling Chanel before we started recording was when I first looked at the album and I was going through the songs, I skipped Fountains on my first listen.
You're like, nah.
I knew it was gonna be the dancehall track. I'm like, whatever, Drake.
Just from the name, Fountains.
I saw Thames. I was like, Thames sounds Caribbean.
Yeah.
So I just right past it. But the thing is, and this is what's so interesting about like Drake projects, is that, or even songs of this kind on Drake projects, is that on first listen you may be like, okay, like it was a cool track, whatever, but when you get in the right environment for it, you're like, this is a banger. like catch me at a party with some drinks in me and this song comes on, I'm gonna be like, oh, this is my jam. Like,
start swinging the hips a little bit,
start doing the finger point, you know what I mean, like the
wind down and all that.
Exactly. And then you're very much in your right to be like, but weren't you the same person that skipped it on the first listen?
And
you know what I mean? I think it depends. But
that's true. Context. It's all about context. I mean,
Exactly.
you could say that too about some of these more like hard beats.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna be, I don't know, on a way to well, you can go on your way to an interview with a hard beat, I guess.
With no friends in the industry. Like,
just like really like, you know what?
Oh, I'm gonna get this job, all right.
Yeah. I don't know, but you know what I mean. Like it's just a lot of things. Just like you prefer certain songs for different situations.
Yeah,
I feel you.
Absolutely. So when it comes to some of the songs that I really liked on the project, they're a little bit out of order because I'm going through my like songs on Spotify. But again, these are songs from there. Yebba's Heartbreak, a great song. If you put Yebba on anything, I'm gonna be like, it's a banger. It's just, what more can I say?
She's amazing.
Yeah, and I completely agree that it was more like an interlude. Something that I noticed when I was listening back to it today, I feel like had the album been a more concise project with like a theme or a topic like throughout the entire thing, I think Yebba's Heartbreak would have hit different. You know what I mean? Because I feel like and Yebba's Heartbreak is kind of in the middle of the album. It's like, I know it's closer to the beginning, But it's definitely like after that, that's when some of the vibes of the album start to change a little bit more.
It kind of is because like it's like the 11th, I think, 10th or 11th, and it's like out of 2021, so it's like somewhat in the middle. Yeah.
So it's like actually almost like right in the
almost
middle.
right in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's an amazing track. I think Yeba sings beautifully on it, and I feel like had I been almost more like involved in the music up until that point, I think that would have been like almost like an album highlight.
Yeah,
You know what I
I think
mean?
I know what you mean. Like you
Yeah.
almost have to like the songs leading up to it would prep you for that moment that it would
Exactly.
allow you to appreciate that interlude moment a little bit more.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did think it's still a great track though. Fair Trade, so good.
Solid.
Solid track. Travis Scott went off. I think I actually prefer Travis Scott's verse over Drake's. Because something we're gonna touch on a little bit later with our criteria list, but like the way that Travis Scott came in on his verse, he came in aggressive.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, Mr. Scott, what do you got for me now?
Talk your mess. Like
Yeah, it was really good. Champagne Poetry, I think that might be my second favorite track from the entire
Really?
album. Yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I-
No,
I-
I just thought you said something different earlier, but
There's
not gonna,
one.
like,
There's one that's my
question
number
you.
one.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. I see what you're
there's one
doing.
that's
I see
number
what
one.
you're doing.
Champagne Poetry is my second favorite. I think it's a solid intro. When I was listening to
Agreed.
it the first time the album came out, I was like, "Yo, this is banging."
I think it's a perfect for an intro.
Exactly. I was like, he's talking his S right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's talking his mess. He's really going off. And there was a beat change in it too, which who doesn't love a good beat change?
Yeah,
You know what I
fun.
mean? I have TSU in here. I like TSU as well.
Yeah, I meant to mention. I know that I said like that sounds like a classic Drake song. If
Yeah.
that makes sense, like you can interpret that in so many ways, but it just sounds like, oh yeah, that's Drake. Like it's like right on his brand.
Yeah.
Of like his sound. You know?
Yeah, Drake and 40 definitely have like a sound together, and TSU is like if you this is gonna sound mean, it's not. If you took a robot and programmed it and you told it write a Drake song, TSU is probably where you would get. Like it's
It's so specific.
exactly like it's everything that Drake would do on a track in 42. It's just a solid track. In Too Deep is my favorite song off of the album.
Yeah.
I love In Too Deep so
That's
much.
such a good one.
It really is. When that beat comes in, oh, it's crazy. It's like, what is it? Pop that. Yeah,
In
pop
Too
that.
Deep, yeah.
Anyway, like on top of the beat is so good. And that first beat is like really, really interesting with just it sounds like a really distorted guitar that comes in. And for the most part, there's no like prevalent drums in the back. So you're really just following that like dun 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 dun. And you're like, okay, what's about to go
What's
down?
about to happen?
You know what I'm saying? And I think a small side note with this song, titles I feel like are a very underrated part of songs.
That's a
You know
good
what I
point.
mean?
Yeah.
Like Champagne Poetry, because we know him as Champagne Papi, you're just like, what? Hello? Like, what are you gonna talk about on this?
Right?
Yeah.
I actually really like that name. There's just like something to it.
Yeah.
Champagne. I just picture like this like smoky like bar, but it's like upscale. I
Yeah.
don't know. Like
Yeah.
he's drinking like, well, it's probably champagne. Right? I was gonna say whiskey. I'm like, hold on, let me.
He's not Whiskey Papi yet.
Not
He's
yet. Not yet. In a few years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love that name.
Yeah. So In Too Deep, right away, you know, you see the word deep, you're like, okay, like this might be like a little more introspective. So you get that unique guitar riff in the beginning. So already it kind of builds that atmosphere. And then when that beat change comes in the second half, that's a wrap.
Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. No Friends in the Industry. Another song I really liked. Another song that Chanel and I both really liked. I would almost call that song an Energy Part 2. If you don't know Energy, it's the second song, I think, off of If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. Which is wild because the first song, Legend, feels like interlude-ish. So Energy just comes right off the top. It's super aggressive, super in your face. It's literally Drake just talking about why he's the GOAT and nobody could tell him otherwise. And no friends in the industry has like that same type of vibe. Super aggressive beat. It's like Drake with a lot of energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's not just rapping like this and talking into the mic.
Yeah. There's the in his feelings Drake.
Yeah.
The jaded Drake. Then there's like the hard, like,
exactly.
you know?
There's the I got rap that I gotta act like I like, but my acting days are over. It's for life.
Yeah.
Like
Wait, I think, isn't there another song you said it sounds like it's a continuation of, or was it just the one you mentioned?
I think it was this one.
Okay, I think there was another one that I recognized, or maybe when you like actually said some verses off of it, I recognized it. I just don't recognize the title. I'll be honest. Like, how does that one go? Energy.
It's I got enemies.
Oh,
got a lot of enemies.
Okay, yeah. I don't know why I couldn't remember. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's
100%.
a hard song.
100%. It actually connects to that song.
That's
Sounds
a
similar.
hard song.
Another gym track.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like No Friends in the Industry. My next one that I really like was 7 a.m. on Bridal Path, which is the Kanye diss. I'm not gonna lie to you, I might be a little bit petty. The only reason I liked it was because it was a Kanye diss.
Oh.
And I'm into the drama. You know what I mean?
Living for it.
And I feel like a lot of times rappers really get their shine when they kind of have like a target to focus on.
Yeah.
That's when you start to see that pen flow. You feel me? And the last one I really liked was Knife Talk with 21 Savage and Project Pat.
Project Pat.
I think that was a great song. I love stuff like that. 21 Savage, I'm convinced, is a great feature artist. Like, he's a great artist on his own too, but like if you haven't featured on a song, it's gonna be a banger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are some solid ones. We definitely had some in common.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me open up this track list one more time, because I know after we mentioned some of the ones that we liked, we did kind of want to go into some stuff that we were like iffy about.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some songs that we weren't necessarily crazy about. Do you have any that you were kind of like?
So my general opinion is with this album is that some of these songs just blend together for me.
Yeah.
Like, there aren't a lot of distinct songs. Like, I can think of other albums of his that like each song is like distinct, and I'm like, okay, like they don't blend together. But this one felt like
this is one long song.
Yeah, like I couldn't tell where one song ended, one song started. Maybe that's just me, like, you know, like that could just be a personal thing. I don't know. But for ones I didn't love, oh wait, I think we should talk about the one you didn't like. Because when you mentioned why I didn't like it, and I was like, because I remember when I heard that song that you didn't like, I remember just feeling like there's something about it that I'm like, I don't care about. Like, I don't care for it. It's like, like I don't really like it. And when you explained why, I was like, that might be it.
Okay. I'm not even sure how I almost let this one slide. Thank you for bringing this back up to me. This might be controversial because I like the feature, but Drake was not. He was not doing his thing on this track. In the Bible.
That's what it's called.
I do not like In the Bible.
Not the Bible.
In the Bible.
It's called In the Bible. I just want to clarify.
Yeah. Oh yeah, facts. I don't hate the Bible.
In the Bible real quick. No, the song is called In the Bible, featuring Lil Durk and Giveon. So Lil Durk did his thing. He went off on this feature. Just like in Laugh Now, Cry Later, Lil Durk killed his feature. He did an amazing job. But Drake and the way that he decided to approach this beat and this song, I am not a fan of. Drake, he would come in like, how does the song? I don't even remember.
I'm about to look up the lyrics because I need to know. I need to do this thing justice.
In the Bible,
because
something like that.
The way that I described it to Chanel, he sounds
you have to see how Wes like imitates it in person, or how he like embodies it. It looks like you're going like up a slide or like going up a roller coaster or something. I don't know.
Drake sounds like he's chasing after the beat.
Yeah, that's what you said. And then I was like, sounds like he woke up in the morning and like went straight to the studio half asleep.
Cause it's just like he decides to start the first part of the verses like really slow and lagged out, and then he just catches up at the end of the sentence.
Like it starts, like you said, slow, and then it kind of peaks, and then it goes right back down at the end of the line.
Yeah, he goes like, "You don't know love. You don't love me like I love my child. Lay it down. That like it touch you up." And then when the beat comes in, it feels like he didn't know that was gonna be the beat.
Wes, getting controversial.
I'm sorry.
No, you have your opinions. I agree completely.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that like, this is what's tricky about that track because the beat is great. It's a great beat. I'm personally just not a fan of the way that he approached it. But then Lil Durk, when he got on with his feature, killed it. Like he did amazing. I think he approached the beat the way that I personally felt like it should have been approached. And then Giveon at the end, he came in with a nice, like some soft vocals. Did his thing. Yeah. But that was just
I like what you pointed out too about the importance of flow and riding the beat kind of thing. Because like when you pointed it out, like Drake's approach to the beat versus Lil Durk's, I heard the difference immediately. I was like, yeah, like Lil Durk. Oh my god, Lil Durk. Yeah. Lil Durk was on the beat in a way that like it kind of makes you start like bobbing your, like bopping your head to the beat. You're like, into it. Yeah, you get into it more. Whereas the Drake is like, it sounds a little.
What are you doing?
Yeah, so that was a good point. It's true.
Yeah, so that was one of them. What did you think about Girls Want Girls?
It was whatever. Yeah. I mean, I don't even remember it that well, honestly.
Yeah, that was the one where
like memorable to me, but
that was the one where the hook was Drake saying like, I'm a lesbian girl, me too. That Twitter was like talking about.
Oh yeah, like I saw it on Twitter or something. Like people were saying, I think with that song, they don't want to open up the narrative of men saying they're lesbian, like as a joke, because like for straight men or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that song was okay. I mean, like I don't really have any like major opinions on it. It was just one of the ones that it's like whatever, like it blends in, kind of like. Yeah. Yeah.
Just like song in the background.
It's just there.
Cool song. It's music.
Yeah. It's just music. That's all it is. Yeah.
I don't really know.
What else? The last one? The Remorse?
The Remorse.
Was that the one where we like looked at each other and.
Yeah. So before Chanel and I started the episode, I think context is an important thing when it comes to music. And like some of the songs that you're going to listen to, especially on this album, because I'm not going to go into too much detail with it. Mm-hmm. But if you kept up with Drake, you know that he had some beefs with Kanye, some beefs with Pusha T, and some of that stuff led to him being more vocal about his son Adonis. And so on the Remorse, and I don't know if this is what you wanted to go into with it, but I feel like I just bring it up either way.
Yeah, go for it.
There's a line. I want to pull up the line exactly.
And I'm looking into it too.
Yeah, because I just feel like it's the irony behind the line.
Is it this one?
Let me see.
Or is that the one where we like looked at each other? I feel like it wasn't that one though.
No, that's a different one. Let me see. I'm about to pull it up right now.
We should have written that down on our like.
I know he's basically saying that. He basically right here he said, my son is the one thing I hate to be apart from. And I gave Chanel this look.
We looked at each other.
We were like, well, I was like, come on, really? Like, because again, super short side note with the Drake and Pusha T beef, Pusha T basically told the world that Drake has a son that he has been hiding from the rest of the world. And so that line just kind of made me do a little bit of a side eye. And that one, and super quick with Papi's Home, that's what kind of took away from that song for me, was like knowing everything that had happened. So I was like, are you really, like, is this as genuine as it comes off on the track?
Right.
But yeah.
And I think we might have already touched on that on this, but I think throughout with this specific project, yeah, I think if you're gonna look for a theme, I think one theme is fatherhood and actually being open about talking about his son and how he says something. Was that the one you just said that he's like the only thing I don't like to be apart from
is my son,
something like that. Yeah. And I think even in the beginning with Papi's Home, I mean, he's talking about being almost like a father to like the world, maybe his fans, his listeners. But there's that theme right away. I mean, with the cover in a way too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was funny because Wes was giving me the lowdown on all the beef, all the tea.
And then immediately we heard
now
that
I'm
line.
like here, yeah. So now I get it.
Yeah. I think it's time that we kind of go through this criteria list that we came up with, which is how we kind of wanted to approach reviewing the album. So there were 5 different points that we wanted to touch on. And basically, these were how we determined
Our final rating.
our final rating.
Yeah.
And again, this stuff is subjective. Chanel and I have different tastes. Anybody listening to us, you have different tastes as well. But this was kind of how we figured we would break things down and
Right.
take a look at the songs.
And it's all for fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if I met Drake, I would be so happy to meet him. Like,
I'd be like, Mr. Graham.
yeah, like he's Drake. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's Drake.
Like I always appreciate him.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's for fun. This was a fun project to listen to. We hope you guys have a good time. You know what I mean? So let's break this down. So the first one is flow. The second one is lyricism. The third one is beat selection. Fourth is production. And then the fifth one is features. And features we kind of touched on when we were first going through.
Yeah.
But do you want to kind of start from the first song and we can give like a quick little rundown of what we thought of each of these criteria?
Sure. So for the first one, champagne poetry.
Yeah.
The flow, I mean, did you define flow earlier? I don't remember. Or like how you would kind of think
kind of
of
what
it.
I was talking about in the Bible. Because
Yeah.
I feel like a good flow is when you can feel the rapper kind of riding the beat.
Yeah.
Like you can tell that they're not, it's almost like they're not letting the beat dominate them, basically. Like you can tell that they're really in sync with the production as well. And their flow almost adds to the song instead of taking away from it, like in the Bible.
Yeah. So I think with champagne poetry, the flow is great.
Yeah, I'd agree.
It felt like he was definitely like on top of the beat the whole time.
Yeah.
So I would say it was great. It was good.
Yeah, I'd agree. And then when it comes to lyricism, I'd say it wasn't like anything crazy, which seems to be like a reoccurring theme for like some of these songs as we're going to talk about a little bit. Like it was good. You know what I mean? He was talking his stuff. He was going in. I know that I think there were a couple lines where he was basically saying like, who could do it like me? Seems to be the theme. And especially for an album opener, I think it kind of, at least for the opener, set the tone of what he was trying to talk about in that song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'd say it was like pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. Beat selection.
Those are some great beats.
Those good beats, and I liked the sampling too. The I love you, I love you, I love you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that it added distinction to the song.
Yeah. I'd say if anything, the beats are probably my favorite part of the song. Yeah. Like above everything else. So far the beat for me is what's carrying champagne poetry.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that was that one. And then let's see. So another one that we both liked was Fair Trade featuring Travis Scott.
Amazing track.
It's really good.
Amazing track.
Very quote worthy. But yeah, I mean on that note, I mean flow, lyricism. So what do we think for flow for that one?
So flow, I think Drake's flow was good.
Yeah.
Travis's was my favorite. Again, if you listen to it, he came on it very aggressively. I'd compare it almost to there was a specific song in Astro World. It might have been Stargazing in the beginning. Just like very on top of it, like a lot faster compared to Drake's. And I'm more of a fan of like aggressive fast flows than like the laid back ones. So I think flow wise, it's weird. Second half of the song, great flow. First half, it was Drake, normal Drake
Right.
flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And then lyricism.
It was catchy.
Catchy, yeah, I think that's the word. Like with that line, that I mentioned earlier, I've been losing friends and finding peace.
Yeah. Seems
But
like
honestly,
a fair
that
trade.
sounds like a fair trade to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a catchy one. Yeah.
Beat selection. This is a great beat.
Yeah.
Great beat.
Agreed.
I always feel like whenever Travis is featured on a song, I wonder how much he has to do with the beat that he's on. Because he is a producer. He makes majority of like his own beats, obviously with like collaborators here and there. But like some people think producer first, rapper second. You know what I mean? So anytime I see him featured on something, I wonder. So with this one, just because I saw Travis Scott on it, I was like, I know this beat's about to be banging.
Yeah.
There's no way Travis is gonna be on a bad beat.
That's something to look into, actually.
Yeah.
I never think about that. I think if anything, I look to you for these categories because I feel like you listen to a lot more rap than I do. So if I'm just like, yeah, I agree, yeah.
I'm like, I mean,
I'll say if I disagree, but you know what I mean.
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like.
Yeah, I think production kind of ties into like that same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
production. I mean, in general, for the whole project, like I think we agree that production was great throughout.
Yeah, again, because it's 40 behind it. OVO 40, who's Drake's like right hand man, the guy's in charge of like all of his beats.
Yeah.
Monster producer.
So we'll probably like the production on most of it, I would say.
Yeah, like across the board.
And then feature, you already kind of said you love the Travis feature. So,
Yeah, Travis did his thing. Travis with features, like he's pretty consistent.
Yeah, so that was that. What did you think of Way Too Sexy? I feel like you haven't talked a lot about that one. Let's look at it from flow.
Okay.
Let's start with flow.
Way Too Sexy. I'm indifferent about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I can tell it's not one of your like main.
Yeah, because it's like I think it's corny, but it's a fun corny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's funny because the other day I was at like a little party with a couple friends, and that song came on, and I didn't realize it was Way Too Sexy. And I started like dancing along and like doing a bunch of things, and somebody was like, "Isn't it funny that the track we like the least is the one we're dancing to right now?" I'm like, "What did you just say to me?" And then I heard it. I'm too sexy for my shirt, and I was like, "Damn,
Too sexy for this syrup. Too sexy for this world."
you know what I mean?" Like,
Yeah, it's definitely. I would agree. It's a fun song.
so like flow, I'd say it's what Future did his thing. Future has like a specific trap flow that he usually tends to follow.
Yeah.
With stuff like that, so I enjoyed it. You know, what I
Yeah.
mean? It wasn't like standout, but it was what it had to be.
Enjoyable lyricism. I mean, on that note, no, it's not there. No. I agree. It's not saying much. It's literally just like a hype song, like
Yeah, it's just having fun on it.
feeling yourself. Yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beat selection. I mean, it's solid.
Now here's the thing: beat selection, and production. Production, we said it's good. You know,
Throughout.
because of 40. Beat selection. Metro Boomin made that beat. That's a great beat. That's a hard beat.
Like, let me talk
right
to you
there.
about this beat really quick.
Listen, Metro Boomin can do no wrong. If young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you. Like,
Do you know some other songs that he's worked on, done beats for? Or
oh my
not to put you on the
God.
spot, but
Metro has done like, I think Metro might be one of the most like prolific producers of our generation. Metro did No Heart by 21 Savage. Metro did Father Stretch My Hands Part 1 by Kanye West. It's the famous If Your
Iconic.
Metro Don't Trust You, I'm gonna shoot you. Beautiful morning. Yeah, Metro did he did the entire What a Time to Be Alive tape with Drake and Future, which is like Jumpman, Diamonds Dancing, if I'm remembering correctly.
classics.
Like literally Metro did 3 songs, I think maybe even more, off of I Decided by Big Sean, which had Last Night Took a L, but Tonight I Bounce Back. Like that's him on that beat. Like Metro had an entire beat tape with 21 Savage and Offset from the Migos. I forget the name of their group. I don't remember if they just went by artist names, but literally Metro's done so
The
many
list goes
things.
on. I mean, probably so many more.
Yeah, so it's like when I heard the Metro tag on this beat, I was like, "You
It's
got
gonna be
me.
good. Yeah.
You got me."
So that was that one.
Yeah.
Definitely a fun beat.
Yeah, super fun song. Super fun song.
All right. What about No Friends in the Industry?
No Friends in the Industry. I think across the board, like with flow, beat selection, lyricism, and production, I feel like it's pretty consistent across like all of those. Lyricism might be the only one where it's good, but it's not anything that like excels. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think just by the title and the second you hear that beat, you can kind of tell what type of song this is. So I think it does what it has to.
No Friends in the Industry. Yeah, because I don't even remember a standout line from that one.
Yeah, exactly. Like there was nothing that like social media was losing their minds over. Like, oh my God, he said this on the track. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think it was just a cool, like straightforward, like I'm Drake, I'm that guy. And this is a song talking about me being that guy.
Yeah, he's like, I don't compete with them.
Yeah.
They don't have anything on me.
Yeah. What did you think about according to our criteria, how did you feel about In Too Deep?
In Too Deep.
Yeah.
That was a really good one.
Yeah.
For beat selection, I loved it.
Yeah.
That was a really good one for that. Flow, I mean, I think it's solid.
Yeah. Especially Future in the second half. I think
Yeah.
that he really did his thing there.
Lyricism, I'll be honest, like, I don't really remember any, like, kind of, like, standout lyrics in there, but, I mean, I think it wasn't, like, okay, like, comparing it to, like, Way Too Sexy, they're probably better than that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's probably a little more substance.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the lyrics too much on that one, but...
I mean, even with that main chorus melody, once that second part comes in, I know that he's like the melody that I really like, the I don't give a anyway. Like he's not really saying anything crazy,
right?
Which that might be one of those instances where I'm like, I prefer not to know the lyrics.
Gotcha.
Because it almost sounds better. You know what I mean? And I've seen what they are, but they're kind of, you know.
Skip worthy. I'm just kidding. Maybe not that, but
the beat definitely carried that.
Oh yeah, I remember I liked his flair on that one. That was one who was like,
yeah,
I get too crazy. I don't remember how he says it. He's like, had a little badina.
Yeah.
I just like how he says, had a little badina.
He puts that Drake Caribbean touch on it. The way only he can.
But yeah, for that one, I feel like lyricism is just like, it's all right.
Yeah. I feel like if there's a song that stood out when it comes to lyricism, I'd say it's 7 a.m. on Bridal Path, which is the Kanye diss. And there's specifically one part that I wanted to read because it was specifically the part that a lot of people were pointing to when they talked about the fact that this was like aimed at Kanye. Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can pull up these
I'm trying to pull them up too. Just to...
Yeah, I like that Genius has like specific parts really highlighted so that you know where to take a look at. So it's right here.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to, not say the swears as much as I can because Drake is a man of many swear words. But here we go. It says, I could give a F about who designing your sneakers and tees. Have somebody put you on a guild and you play with my seed. Trust me, there's some you really got to come see to believe. That's why your people not believers. They all leaving you. That's why you bind into the hype that the press feeding you. You know the fourth level of jealousy is called media. Isn't that an ironic revelation? Give that address to your driver. Make it your destination. Instead of just posting out of desperation. Like...
That last verse, though. That last line, I should say.
Posting out of desperation, bro. Who stays on Twitter 24/7 making crazy tweets?
He probably shouldn't.
Mans needs his phone taken away from him.
Seriously though? Yeah.
But yeah, like when it comes to lyricism, like that and
there's that other one you mentioned, that other line. It was like, let me take the rap for that Casper the Ghost ish while you finding all of the loopholes.
Yes. Because basically Drake has been the one that's been taking a lot of the flack when it comes to ghostwriting accusations. But if you've listened to Duppy Freestyle or even just I feel like Kanye has admitted to it. Like, yeah, like I have ghostwriters. Like Drake is saying, I've written for you. Like you have people that write songs for you, but somehow you seem to be the one getting all the loopholes and not taking so much flack for it as I am. So again, good writing.
Yeah, and I feel like I've learned a lot about some of the beef with just sitting with Wes today.
Yeah.
And it's like it makes some of these lyrics and some of these like jabs kind of like they make more sense now.
Yeah. It's like a little rap history lesson.
But yeah, that was that one. I think, are there any others that kind of stand out to you before we kind of give our final?
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like probably if there's one more song that I want to shout out, I think the last one I kind of want to shout out for me would be Knife Talk.
I was going to say that one too, yeah.
Yeah, really?
Well, I was going to mention that I know we liked it, so I don't know if you wanted to say anything about that one.
There was a specific line because, again, I'm a fan of when rappers get aggressive.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of when rappers are like, yo, like, I'm the best at what I do and nobody could tell me otherwise. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even if it's not like true, like factually, hearing that, it's like, okay, like talk your stuff. Yeah. Let me see what's going on. And there's this verse that Drake has. It's actually the the very first verse, I believe. You know what's funny? I clicked on Genius and I clicked Knife Talk. It took me to the lyrics for Fountains.
Do you want to look?
Yeah.
I already have it pulled up. Might as well.
So Drake in the second verse, technically, he says, "Yeah, I heard Papi outside, and he got the double R droppy outside. Check the weather, and it's getting real oppy outside. I'm gonna drop this and have these dropping like some mother." The type of that can't look me in the eyes I despise. When I see you, better put that pride to the side. Many times, plenty times I survived. Beef is live. Spoiler alert, this dies. Like, and then when he says that, the beat drops back in, and you're just like, let's go! You just get excited because you're like, yo, like, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, get mean, get angry, get nasty.
We should listen to that after.
Oh, absolutely. That one and In Too Deep, we're def bumping after this episode.
I'm there.
But yeah, like, so would you want to give any, like, closing overall thoughts on the album? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, kind of how I mentioned before, I think the album is just, it's fun.
yeah.
And I think I've seen other comments online of that I kind of agree with. It's like, well, someone said that we didn't expect a masterpiece, legendary album from Drake this year. I mean, just based on what the last few that he's put out, I think maybe people wouldn't have like the highest expectations. But I always expect him to put out something that's at least catchy.
Yeah.
You know, and like some songs that become classics for a time.
Yeah.
So I think overall, he has a few standout songs on the album. Some to me aren't memorable. They're just skips for me.
Like, yeah.
They're just there.
It's music.
Yeah, they could have maybe could have done without him on the album, made it a shorter album. But yeah, I guess those are like my final thoughts. It was all right.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was Drake. You know. So
that's literally the best way to put it. It's Drake, because I'd say I basically agreed. Among friends and among other people, I jokingly refer to this album as certified mid boy, certified lover mid lover boy. Basically saying that the album was just like down the road, down the middle. Really wasn't anything like crazy. But again, it's like I mentioned this before. Like, expectation is like a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? It's like, you'll go into an album thinking like, oh man, I really want this to be like something crazy. So you start looking at songs from that angle, and you know, you have some songs that meet or like go above and beyond those expectations, which are some of the ones that I noted that I really liked. Mm-hmm. But when songs don't meet those expectations, you're just like, man, this is trash. Like, this is garbage, certified garbage boy. Like,
remember, I feel like earlier we were joking about like swapping out the middle word.
Yeah. Just like for anything.
I was talking like
we were saying a little something about this.
I was getting
album.
a little bit like I was roasting Drake a little bit.
Yeah, but like, you know, I think it was just an okay album.
Yeah,
you know, if I had to give it like a 1 out of 10.
I'm getting into the ratings now. Drum roll, please.
I'd give it a 5.
Oh, but I thought you were gonna say 4.
No,
like,
no, I can't go that low. I'd give it a 5. 5 as in the songs I liked were amazing.
Yeah.
Songs I didn't were So it.
That's the theme of today. I wish you could see Wes's face.
Oh, one day. One day. But yeah, so like it evened out. You know what I mean? It evened out.
And I think 5, I think for you that's a perfect rating because you said it was mid.
Yeah.
You know, half of 10.
Yeah.
It's literally 5 out of 10. Yeah. Man. After you give that rating, I was like, let me rethink my rating. Because I just feel like you know Drake a lot more than I do. I mean, I appreciate Drake, you know, but I think all that to say, I was going to give it like a solid 6 out of 10.
Okay. I think 6 is a good score.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, just because of the reasons I already mentioned, I think it had some standout songs, but a lot of them for me were skip worthy or like they were just skips for me, I guess. Yeah. And they didn't add much to the project. Some things I don't know if I already mentioned this, but it just something about the whole project. Some things didn't feel cohesive.
Yep.
So like I think with that dance hall song, it was felt a little random. I think it's expected for him to put dance hall in his songs, so he probably threw it in because of that. But Yeah, solid 6 out of 10. I think it's still, worth a listen.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine, and I think I'll probably listen to some songs here and there. So
yeah, definitely give the album a listen. It's a fun album. Fantano gave it a 3 out of 10. I think that's a little harsh.
He tends to rate low, from what I've seen of him.
Yeah. So again, I think it's a fun album. And again, these are our opinions. We like having fun talking about music. This was a great time for us. All subjective. And we would also love to hear what you guys thought. You know what I mean? Definitely feel free to let us know what were some of your favorite tracks. What were some of the tracks you really didn't like? Did you agree with us? Did you disagree? Let us know. We'd love to have that conversation with you guys.
On Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I think we've made it to that time in the episode. Once again, thank you guys very much for listening to this episode of the Tune Out Podcast. If you're listening on Apple Music, be sure to leave us a 5-star rating.
Has to be 5.
Has to be 5. And a review, because it very much helps with our visibility, and we appreciate you guys listening on there. If you're listening on Spotify, be sure to give us a follow there. And I think you can like the episode as well. Download the episodes. Yep. If you're listening on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more notifications. And, we have our Google podcast as well. And I think one other platform. I'm stalling, though.
Who knows where we are? We could be anywhere, honestly.
For real. Also, super quick, shout out to our international listeners.
Wes is so hung up on this. I want you to know, he's every time we look at analytics, he geeks out.
Listen, it makes me very happy to know that we have so many listeners from all over the place. Shout out Brazil, shout out Germany, shout out Vietnam, and shout out Ireland. Once again, thank you guys so very much for listening to this episode. We hope you guys had a great time and enjoyed. I've been Wes.
I'm Chanel.
And this is the Tune Out Podcast. Yeah!